probably reduce the screen size. But anyway, let me just give you a demonstration of that.
Great. So do we have your permission to use this for teaching and learning?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that. Great. What is it you want to ask about this case?
So today, I've bring a case that is a 50 years old Chinese female patient, and she has lost her Q1 and Q2, and so she wanted to have a replacement for Q1 and Q2, and she did not have any chewing problem, and just one aesthetic. And so for 1-1, this is endodontically treated, while for 2-3, there's a distal composite. So I don't know if the design for the bridge is a FM4 hybrid bridge with the conventional major connector on 1-1 and the minor connector on 2-3, or I should do a cantilever bridge.
Okay. So you want to know whether you should do 2 2-unit cantilevers, one conventional, one resin bonded, or whether you should do 1 4-unit fixed movable hybrid bridge.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So what about the appearance of the radiograph that I'm wobbling around here? What is there? Is that going to be treated?
Yes, it has been endodontically treated, and I put a final post inside.
Okay.
Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm clarifying what I can see on the X-ray. So I've asked them what treatment they've done before. Here I can see there's a radiolucent area, so I want to know whether this is getting better or getting worse.
Retreatment?
It is not retreatment, but just I treated.
Okay, and when did you do the treatment? How long ago did you do the treatment?
About 1 year.
Okay, and this radiograph is taken recently?
Yeah, recently, just to...
Okay, and where's the pre-op radiograph?
The pre-op?
Or the one of the earlier radiographs that you have there?
So now what I'm doing is I can see there's a problem on the radiograph, and I've got to make sure whether that problem is healthy or not, or whether it needs to be, whether it's getting better or getting worse. So that's why I'm asking the previous radiograph, so I can compare the two and work out whether the tooth is getting any better or worse.
Okay, so you're happy with your root filling?
I think there might be some void, but it's not very significant.
It looks alright. Yeah. So when you compare that previous X-ray to this one, what do you notice about the appearance?
I think the radiolucency at the apex is slightly a little bit bigger.
Yeah, okay. You've got a diffuse margin. What about the size of the lesion? Is it the same, big or small?
I think it's slightly smaller.
It could be small, isn't it? It certainly looks like that.
Yeah.
So then here we're clarifying that it seems to be getting smaller and better, so he's giving the right information, because if it's not getting better, then we've got a problem. But he seems to know the correct information that things are improving.
But good look to tell if it's exactly the same angle. So the question is, should you jump in now and start the bridge work, or should you wait for it to heal? Well, you could argue that you've already had some healing happening.
So I've asked a rhetorical question, because I don't think he asked that. So now I'm asking, although this isn't completely healed, should you wait for it to get completely better, or should you go on? And with these cases, you can't wait forever, otherwise the patient doesn't get the treatment. So then you've got to make an informed decision and judgment that will go ahead and provide the treatment, as long as we know as the lesion is getting better.
Here, in comparison from there to maybe there, although I'm not certain it's necessarily getting smaller. Is the tooth symptomatic or tending to percussion?
Since root canal has been done, there's no more symptoms.
Okay, what about, no sinus tract, not tending to percussion. What about tending to palpation when you put your finger up in the alveolus?
Checked last time in October.
Okay.
So I'm checking all the clinical things that he should have done, and he seems well prepared, and he's got that all correct.
Sorry, that's interesting. You almost don't need the X-ray viewing. That's still pretty good like that. Okay, nobody wanted to know that. Right, so therefore we've got this here with that in the opposing arm. So you can see we've probably got pretty much normal intelligent faults. Is that something more? Yeah, okay, yes. So we've got that there.
So then what I've done is I've just defined what I can see, just to summarise what I hope he already knows.
What about the posterior teeth? Is the patient concerned about the lack of posterior support? That's an issue.
Not an issue.
So then I've seen there are other problems, and then you've got to make sure that they don't just focus on one area without having looked at all the others. And so he's rightly said that for the patient it's not a significant issue.
She can chill with the person.
Yeah, it does kind of, and the patient's got an open bite there on the tooth, is that right? Well, that might work to your advantage, because it does make me a bit worried that you don't have a lot of posterior support. So what do you think might be the significance of the fact that you don't have a lot of posterior support for this occlusion?
So the anterior tooth will have a higher occluding force and may causing more force acting on the bridge and cause this force.
Yeah, which are you more worried about?
So from my expertise, I've noticed that the occlusion and bite isn't that perfect. There are issues with it, and he's correctly answered my concern, so he switched on.
With regards to bridge failure, dislodgement or something else? Well, no, you've got two types of bridge here. You've got a resin bonded and a conventional one. So therefore,
you mean there may be some use of having
no. If you have that as a conventional unit there, because it's root treated and you put a fibre post in there, you do a bridge on there. What's the worst type of failure that you can have on that abutment? Fracture.
So the student didn't get the question right the first time. I didn't perhaps ask it clearly enough because it was vague. So therefore I was giving him room to explore and allow me to probe it more. And so therefore, if you've got a root treated tooth there and you're putting a bridge on it, our worry is that it might fracture. So therefore I had to ask the question again, and I was framing it by saying, what's the worst thing that can happen? So that was a clue for the student to say it could fracture. So I was leading him to that answer.
So therefore, debond isn't my worry about there being not so much posterior occlusal force, it's the fact that we haven't got much shared loading posteriorly to reduce the loading on that root-filled abutment. But we've got a bit of an open bite there. So that's, if that's the way it is, then that would be, that's not so much of a worry.
So my expertise has shown there's a lack of posterior support, and I've raised an issue to make them aware of that fact, that if they don't have enough posterior teeth, you're going to get more load on here and it could fracture. So that's why we discussed that.
When you look at the aesthetics of that wax up, does that look natural and harmonious? Are you happy about the appearance of that?
Actually, it's not very symmetrical, and I think the central incisor of the wax up is a little bit small compared to the original tooth natural grade. And for the natural incisor, I think it can have the mesial buccal corner can be more rounded compared to this one, because it's like going a little bit heavy inclination.
You mean the distal surface of this incisor is diverging? You mean that one, you mean the mesial of that? Mesial of that, okay. That doesn't jump out at me so much.
So therefore I can see there's a problem with the aesthetics of the front, and so therefore I'm asking him about that, and he's starting to discuss it, but I don't think he's discussed the point yet.
But which tooth is wider at the front of the mouth on your wax up? Is it the central or lateral?
I think it's similar.
No, I think they're pretty similar. I can't tell the difference actually, but I always think the lateral looks wider because it's more diverging. So then, do you think that's a good wax up?
Not really.
No, okay. So I think you need to modify that.
Right.
You've also got to work out how can you change the appearance of that tooth to make it look better, such that it looks less wide.
You mean that central?
Yeah, that's central. Yeah.
Not less wide. Maybe I can make the line of the tooth here.
Yeah.
Okay, we can make the line of the tooth here and here closer.
Yeah, very good. So it's actually the distal ones, because that one is quite kind of diverging like that, going out, but it looks wider. So I think you might need to do a little bit of enamelplasty over here, just on that little bit over there, such that you can make it look less wide. Yeah, and then you need to redo the wax up, and then also, what's the difference between the neck? There's something about the gingival area of that tooth in comparison to that tooth that makes those look different. What stands out?
Is it the enamel and the cervical area?
Well, it's not the enamel, it's the cervical area, but it's the width of the neck. The neck of the CEJ there is quite narrow, and that makes that tooth look narrow, whereas the neck of the CEJ over here comes from here to there, and that's wider than it is from there to there, so that needs to be widened a little bit, so you can improve on that. Okay, so then, what are you going to do? Hybrid 4-unit or 2 2-unit cantilevers?
So then finally we get round to his original question, 8 minutes into the discussion, and that's all he wanted to know. So that was the discourse that we did to get to the answer.
But if I heard some people said that if this is a conventional candidate abrasion, may have a higher chance of fracture.
Well, is that evidence-based?
I can't find any.
No, I can't either. No, I can't either. So that's. However, because it's root-filled, there might be a high chance of a failure. But then you're still going to be loading it if you have it in a hybrid. So I'm not sure that's going to be any better. You've got a slightly open bite on that tooth there, and without seeing the photographs, could this still be done as a resin bonded bridge? No, because it's a crown on there, isn't it? Is it a crown or is it still natural tooth tissue?
I haven't done any crown.
So it's still pretty natural tooth tissue?
Yeah.
Is there a large restoration on it, or is it just an excess cavity?
There's restoration on this and this one.
Okay. So in that case, I would keep that as 2 2-unit cantilevers.
Okay.
To keep it simple. Otherwise, you've got to have that. Then that's got to carry the 3 resin bonded retainers, and you've got to have a movable joint in there. And that just makes...
So although I don't think I really helped him get to the answer, he had good knowledge all the way through. He was able to justify and expand on things, and so I think I probably gave him the answer at the end, because it was quite difficult. There isn't an answer about should you do the 2-unit cantilever conventional. There isn't information in the literature, so therefore I wouldn't have expected him to have been able to extrapolate the answer, so therefore I gave him the answer on that one.
It's a bit more complex. But you still got to let the patient know. What have you got to let the patient know about long-term prognosis of that?
The chance of fracturing it, and it may require replacement, other replacement like denture.
Yeah,
later on,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's really
It could be. Yes, you're right. Okay, any other questions?
No.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.